What is up, guys? It's Doodoo Poker here, back for another video. Today we are going to be talking about what board type we should be aggressive on after we check raise flop and we are on the turn. Now this board is counterintuitive, but once we look at MDA, once we look at artificial intelligence, and once we look at a hand history, we're going to understand why this board is overfolded. What board type am I talking about? I'm talking about ace-high boards. So let's go into a hand I played, and then we're going to go into some alternate versions of the hand history and figure out what is going on. So in this hand, I am in the big blind. I am against an unknown. Let's assume he's a regular. And my opponent is on the button. He RFIs small, and I call with Jack 10 off. The flop comes, ace of clubs, queen of hearts, nine of diamonds. We know in theory that if you check raise on this flop, you're supposed to be going polarized. Why am I going polarized? In theory, you want to go polarized to target ace X. In practice, this doesn't work that well because, one, population plays better versus big sizings. Big sizings are more intuitive. Smaller sizings are harder to play against, so as an exploit, I check raise small on this board type, but the important part is the turn. Now, my opponent c-bets small, and I check raise small, and he calls. Now, should I be attacking the turn? The answer is yes, but why should I be over-barreling turn? Let's look at some generic MDA. We're going to go into specific MDA, then we're going to look at a solver solution. So this is the field as the single raise pot. PFR, bet, call, flop, fold, turn frequencies. What do you guys notice? You notice there is a slight overfold overall if you overbet the turn, but we need to be more specific. Let's go to specific MDA. In specific MDA, we do bet, call, fold frequencies by texture. We see ace-high flops are going to be overfolded more than the aggregate, but we want to understand why that is. Let's look at GTO Wizard for this spot and figure something out. Now I go into the AI and I check raise the flop and I'm on the turn with my range. If I bet 120% pot, the button has to defend all these hands not to overfold. But what do you notice about the folding percentage? We see it's 53%. When I put this into the artificial intelligence, the folding frequency is 65 to 66%. So where is this 12 to 13% overfold coming from? Well, we can actually visualize it here. Let's look at a hand like 9-6 of clubs. Do you think 9-6 of clubs is continuing on the turn? Probably not. What about 9-7 of clubs? What about a hand like Jack 10? Jack 10 probably folds the turn. What about a hand like Ace 2? Ace 2 probably folds as well because people, when they think about bluff catching, they go in a linear fashion. They don't think about blockers. People don't realize that a hand like Ace 6 is a better call than a hand like Ace 10 because you want your opponent to have Jack 10 and King 10. But they think in a linear fashion. So if I ask someone or a random reg off the street, what's a better call on the turn, ace 6, ace 7, or ace 10, they would probably pick ace 10, even though ace 6 and ace 7 are going to be better continues. Other hands that will fold are probably a hand like Jack 10 off, hand like King 9 off. So what we see in artificial intelligence is the more draws on the flop, the more you want to barrel on the turn. Let's compare ace queen 9-5 to ace 9-4-5 in the same formation. If we compare two board types and I have my range on the turn again, and now I bet 120% pot, well, we see the folding frequency has decreased in theory. We also see the folding frequency decreasing in practice. If you look at artificial intelligence, they fold 59%, so we're still getting an overfold, but we want to understand why they're folding less. Well, in the first spot, they will continue with hands like King Jack, King 10, Jack 10, 10-8. On the second spot, they don't have all these natural continues on the flop, but we still get an overfold. Why do we get an overfold on the turn? Well, a solver is calling hands like 8-7 suited, 8-6 suited, a hand like pocket tens, pocket jacks. These hands are not going to be calling in reality. Pocket jacks, if it decides to call flop, will definitely fold turn. Pocket tens, the same thing. And a hand like 8-7 or 8-6 will also fold turn. So what happens is we need to be attacking. Let's go back to notes. The more draws on the flop, the more you want to overbarrel turn. Both of these spots are overfolded, but one is overfolded more than the other. We see the ace queen 9-5 board gets 65 to 66% folds in AI, and the ace 9-4-5 only gets 59%, but both spots are overfolded. As we see from theory, they should be folding only between 50 and 53%. So the more draws on the flop, the more you want to barrel turn. We attack 2 data points. We attack the rainbow turns because all the floats on the flop are going to miss on the turn. So you see in MDA, on the rainbow turn, all sizings used, it's the most overfolded turn. Why is it the most overfolded? Because all the floats on the flop did not pick up any backdoor draws on the turn, so it's overfolded. We're also going to be targeting weak ace-x and draws with our overbet on the turn. So when I barrel with my hand, let's go back to my hand. In this spot, I know he's going to call flop with a hand like king 10, jack 10, king queen, 10-8 suited. All those hands will fold on the turn. So I should definitely overbet and barrel more than theory because we see we get 65 to 66% folds, and theory is supposed to be only folding 53%. If you enjoy this type of content, please give me a like, please give me a subscribe. New video every single day, 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I will see you guys in the next video. Take care.